It's a beautiful Friday night for baseball tonight in Milwaukee, and just a few miles west of Lake Michigan. It is Miller Park, and we start the final homestand of the year tonight. The Brewers and the Astros. It is game one of a three-game series. The Brew Crew back in the home whites. Prince Fielder a chance at a little history this evening as the Brewers welcome in the Astros. Hunter Pence, Lance Berkman and the gang, led by Cecil Cooper. He's the man who shares the RBI lead currently with Fielder. Could be a historic weekend here at Miller Park. And hi, everybody, and welcome from Miller Park. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us tonight. Hope you're enjoying your Friday back home or wherever you may be. And Rock, let's first talk about the headliner, and that is Prince Fielder and Cecil Cooper. How ironic is it that these two come together sharing the franchise RBI record?
Yeah, well, it's kind of a surprise that Prince hasn't broken that record yet. It's been 4 days since his last RBI when he tied that record, but still in all, it's been a tremendous season for Prince Fielder, and I think the one thing that he wants to accomplish, you know he's going to get the RBI title. It's only a matter of time. There's 17 games left. He's probably going to get his 40 home runs, but I think that 300 batting average is something that Prince Fielder will be proud of more than any of the other things that he's got going on, including the 100 walks. He needs one more walk for 100. It's just been a stellar year all the way around, both at the plate and on the field for Big Prince.
Well, Bill had a chance to catch up with Cecil Cooper, the man who set the record 26 years ago. Here's what he had to say.
I didn't think this would last, the record would last this long, particularly with guys like him and Brown around. But you know what? It is kind of ironic that we're here. I knew about a week or so ago that he was getting close, and I said, well, they've got 6-7 games before we get there, and he'll probably have it done by then. And lo and behold, here we are, and he's got a chance to break it here. I'll do my best to try to, shut him down, maybe walk him, or something like that with a couple guys on so you don't get a chance to. But, I'm going to congratulate him regardless of whether he gets 130 or whatever he gets. I mean, I think he's a heck of a player, and I'm happy for him.
From one legendary first baseman talking about another right there. On the pitching side, Yovani Gallardo will make a start on Sunday. It'll be his final start of the season. That's big news. We'll talk more about that later. But Manny Parra unable to go tonight. Chris Narveson will get the call. Manny Parra had an MRI on Wednesday. It was negative, but he's in a lot of pain and unable to pitch.
Yeah, and you never know. How long this thing's going to last. He's only pitched one inning since September 3rd. So even if this injury goes away, it's going to be almost 3 weeks between opportunities for him out there on the mound. You never know what's going to happen with him. And in the meantime, it's Chris Narveson making his second start. He was only able to go 3 innings in his first time out as a Brewer in the starting rotation against the Diamondbacks. High pitch count, big overhand curveball. You figure that second time on the mound as a starter, maybe a little bit more relaxed and maybe able to get through the game a little bit deeper.
Well, Narveson's first major league start was against the Astros. That was in '06. He's back on the mound once again tonight. Baseball tonight on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Stay with us. Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money at Menards. By Time Warner Cable, the power of you. And brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered. Beautiful night for baseball. Roof is open. Jackets are on. It's a little bit cool. Temperature in the 60s as we get ready to play. Cecil Cooper and the Astros currently 4th in the National League Central. 6 games under 500. Carlos Lee continues to lead the way offensively for them. Here's the Subway lineup turned in by Cecil Cooper tonight. Michael Bourne, Kaz Matsui, and Hunter Pence at the top. Carlos Lee, Lance Berkman, and Miguel Tejada in the middle of the order. And Cooper has Chris Johnson, J.R. Tolles, and Bud Norris, all 3 of whom have spent time in AAA. Chris Narveson on the mound, the Piggly Wiggly scouting report, making just his 2nd start. Consecutive starts for Narveson Rock, filling in for Manny Parra.
And because this is his 2nd start, maybe a little bit more relaxed, maybe go 4 or 5 innings. That's what the Brewers are looking for. Got to get ahead with the fastball. Got a very good curveball that he's able to throw. And Lance Berkman, the only hitter in this Astros lineup that has ever faced Narveson at the major league level.
Well, Narveson facing Michael Bourne. Talented leadoff hitter for the Astros, who's had a big year, 57 steals this year. Leads the National League. Certainly a guy you want to keep off the base paths. Bourne not only leads the league in stolen bases, leads the league in infield hits and bunt singles this season. It's always been an on-base percentage issue with Michael Bourne, but this year he's kept it above 360 for most of the season, and Cecil Cooper has been very pleased with the production he's offered. Hardy's got a long throw with a speedy runner, no chance, and an infield hit. Brewers defensively, Ryan Braun, Mike Cameron, and Corey Hart in the outfield tonight behind Narveson. It's McGee, Hardy, Lopez, and Fielder around the horn, and a battery of Jason Kendall and Chris Narveson. Joe West is behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. He's the crew chief. Paul Nard, Ed Rapuano, and Paul Schreiber on the base paths.
Yeah, 57 stolen bases for Michael Bourne, and that's exactly what Cecil Cooper wants him to do. Not try to hit the ball in the air, hit the ball on the ground. Once that ball got by Casey McGee, no chance for JJ. A lot of speed out there on first base.
Now Bourne is going to win the stolen base title this season, and you figure he'll be on the move shortly. Kaz Matsui, a .252 hitter this year. 7 home runs, 41 driven in for the Astros. Astros have dropped 4 straight. Brewers have leapfrogged Houston in the Central Division standings. But a consolation at this point, but you certainly want to climb as many teams as possible in the final 16 games.
I think more importantly, I think the Brewers would love to be able to get over that 500 mark and stay above 500, 4 games under right now. And you can say the same with the Astros. The Astros looking to do the same thing.
Astros are 70 and 76. And a bouncer to Hardy. Got a chance for 2 here. The turn at second. Bad throw from Lopez, but Fielder able to get the tag on Matsui. And it's a 6-4-3 double play and a good start for Narveson.
Well, it took Matsui a little longer to get down there than you would anticipate. Matsui runs pretty well. Really not even in the shot yet. Kind of lazy jog down to first base. Throw off the mark, and Prince able to make an easy tag. Now you run him out, you never know.
Never know. Here's Hunter Pence. Pence elevated to the 3-hole in this batting order. 286 hitters. Put up 23 homers this year. 68 runs batted in.
Yeah, the Astros, a an interesting case study when you look at them offensively. They're 5th in the National League in batting average. In the bottom half in runs scored. They don't hit many home runs. Currently 12th in the National League in runs scored, but as we mentioned, 5th in batting average. So they're able to get on base. They just can't drive them in.
Now they've had down seasons from Lance Berkman this year. There's another play in the hole. Hardy, a long throw. Pence beats one out. How about 2 infield hits in his first inning against Narveson?
That's another thing the Astros do pretty well. They put the ball in play. They don't strike out much. They don't walk much. They don't strike out much. So infield is usually very busy. And Pence can run. Tried to pull a pitch away from him and was rewarded a seeing eye base hit.
That's a guy you'll see running it out all the time. He's a hard-nosed player. Alcides Escobar the night off tonight. J.J. Hardy has not started since Arizona. Did not make a start in that Cup Series. Brewers coming off a 2-2 split in Chicago after sweeping the Diamondbacks in a 5-2 road trip for Milwaukee.
And one of their best road trips of the season. Bullpen really coming up big in that Chicago Cup Series.
Well, I mean, especially yesterday, the bullpen between Coffey, Villanueva, Vargas, and Hoffman. 4 relievers used, retiring the last 10 batters in that game against Chicago last night or yesterday afternoon.
Well, because of all the relievers that were needed in that Chicago series, the Brewers have added Mike Burns back to the mix. He's down in the bullpen, and it's going to be important for Narveson to be able to pick up, minimum 4 innings, maybe 5. We'll see how it goes.
Narveson went 3 his last start, his only start of the year. And he drops a curveball in there for a strike on Carlos Lee. Big numbers again from Carlos Lee. He is 4 RBIs away from his 4th consecutive 100 RBI season. And it would be his 6th overall.
Now, there's no mistaking that he's one of the better run producers in the National League. No doubt about that. Drives in a lot of runs every year. Got that batting average around 300. Very rarely strikes out for a guy with the power that he has. Only 46 strikeouts all year. And he doesn't walk.
Yeah, doesn't strike out much, doesn't walk much. Swings the bat. The 1-2 from Narveson. Down and in. Count evens at 2-2. Since 2005, you can almost book Carlos Lee at a 300 average, 30+ home runs, and 100+ RBIs. Big numbers.
And on base percentage is not that great because he doesn't walk. He's only walked 40 times all year.
And that big year in 06 as a member of the Brewers, was traded to the Texas Rangers at the end of the campaign, then signed a big contract with the Astros starting in 07. Pop up to McGee. The inning is over. Narveson surrenders a couple of infield hits but works through it. And here come the Brewers at the plate. Tonight, fireworks. Get ready for the Brewers at the plate for the first time. Lineup brought to you by Subway. Turned in by Ken Baca, Felipe Lopez, Corey Hart, Ryan Braun at the top. Career numbers against the Astros are big for Braun, .336 average. Prince Fielder, Casey McGee, and Mike Cameron in the middle of the order with J.J. Hardy, Jason Kendall, and Chris Narveson rounding it out. That lineup will face a big, hard-throwing right-hander, Bud Norris.
Yeah, the Piggly Wiggly scouting report. Power pitcher, mid-90s with the fastball. Pretty straight, though. He's got a good slider that's been very effective against right-handed batters. He led the PCL in strikeouts this year. Matter of fact, the PCL pitcher of the year. Left-handed batters hitting only .210, but check it out, right-handers, .340. Go figure.
Interesting numbers. Same-side hitters with that much success. Bud Norris making his 9th career major league start. Felipe Lopez leads off for the Brewers. Lopez batting .308, 9 homers, 52 ribbies. How about his numbers against the Astros this year? .487 batting average combined between Arizona and Milwaukee. That includes a home run. The Brewers saw Bud Norris back in early August. That was here at Miller Park. Excuse me, that was in Houston. And he went 6 innings and only 2 earned runs in that game. Matched up against Carlos Villanueva that night. He pitched well, and he earned his 2nd win of the year. He actually started the season, or started his season, with 3 straight victories, all coming in August. Set a Houston Astros franchise record for rookies, winning his first 3 decisions.
Well, he won his first 3. He's lost his 3 starts after that, and now he's on a 2-game winning streak. So every time he's made a start, he's got a decision. One thing he was not able to do very well against the Brewers in that start you mentioned was throw strikes. He walked 5.
Felipe Lopez on base a lot yesterday at Wrigley. On base 3 times, had a couple of walks, had a hit. Brewers winning 7-4 yesterday over the Cubs. And a good finish to that series, winning back-to-back games. Jody Garrett, grand slam home run yesterday afternoon. Maybe one of his biggest hits as a Brewer this year.
Into the teeth of a big wind at Wrigley Field coming in off the lake. A 3-2 cut fastball knocked it out of the ballpark.
Brewers did a nice job yesterday with men on, specifically with men on and 2 outs. Both Jody Garrett and Mike Rivera delivering key hits with 2 outs. And as Rock mentioned, the terrific bullpen work yesterday. Dave Bush was a winner. His 5th win of the year. Randy Wells the loser. Hoffman saved his 33rd. Dave Bush left the ball club to go be with his wife. Expected to deliver their 2nd child sometime today, as Lopez sees 10 pitches and draws the walk. Defensively for the Astros, Carlos Lee, Michael Bourne, and Hunter Pence. Chris Johnson, Miguel Tejada, Kaz Matsui, and Lance Berkman around the horn. J.R. Tolles, young catcher, behind the plate with Bud Norris. These 2 were the battery mates in AAA Round Rock for much of the season. By the way, Rock, you'll be happy to know Mr. and Mrs. Bush had their 2nd child. Jarrett John Bush. Big boy, 10 pounds, 3 ounces. Wow, huh?
He'll be able to help Dave split wood pretty early, pretty quickly in the offseason, maybe this year.
Congratulations to Dave.
Yeah.
Picks up a win and is a father for the 2nd time. All in a 24-hour time period. Nice going.
Now the slider that we talked about from Bud Norris, he throws it hard and it's pretty quick. Quick break.
0-2 to Corey Hart. Hart back in the 2-hole once again today. Corey was out of the lineup to start yesterday, but he did play and was 0 for 2 at the plate. Came in on a double switch, trying to set it up for Braun. And the Brewers hoping to get Prince Fielder up in this inning with a chance to break that RBI record.
Yeah, get it over with.
They'd like to force the hand of Cecil Cooper, who shares the RBI record with Prince Fielder. The only way you can do that is to load the bases for Prince.
Don't give Cecil an option to walk him.
Cecil told you today he was going to walk him every time up.
Well, that's what the Cubs did. That's what Lou Piniella did exactly. Just about every time that they had the opportunity to put him on first base, they did.
Prince is ready to hit. And isn't it ironic that Fielder goes RBI-less the last 4 days in Chicago and sets up this matchup with the manager of the Astros and the Brewers slugger, both sharing that record. Cecil Cooper's opportunities are over to add to his record. Nice play by Tejada. And the Astros are going to turn to double play. That was well done by Miguel Tejada. 6-4 to 3 and 2 quick outs.
And it was a lot tougher play because the second base umpire had to get out of the way. It looked as though initially that Tejada was blocked off. Umpire able to get out of the way, and they were able to turn it easily at first base. Good play by Miguel Tejada. Astros currently third in the National League in turning double plays. That was number 148. And they have played good solid defense all year.
Ryan Braun with 2 outs. Braun still sitting on 29 home runs. Would like to get to that 30 milestone. 16 to play. The Brewers open their final homestand of the year tonight. Astros, Cubs, and Phillies all coming to town. The Phillies will be here for 4 games. Astros and Cubs playing 3-game series. Ryan starts the day 6th in the league in batting. And with those 29 home runs, 1 away from another milestone. Braun had a 30-homer, 100 RBI season last year. Would like to do it again this year. Powerball home run leaderboard has Prince at the top. He's 1 away from 40. Mike Cameron 1 away from 20. Some things we're watching as this season continues and this homestand rolls on.
And Ryan has done a pretty good job against the Astros this year. 350 plus batting average, 3 homers, and had a pretty good road trip. And 9 for 27, 6 RBIs. Brewers were swinging the bats pretty well, except for 1 game on that road trip. Unfortunately, it was Jeff Supon's start where he might have had his best start of the year.
Broken bat grounder out to Matsui, and the side retired. So a leadoff walk. Norris pitches around it. On our way to the second at Miller Park.
Astros! Fuck the
However, some breezes blowing through the ballpark on a cool night. Getting dark early now. Starting to feel that touch of fall coming in.
Pitch black. It's what, 7:25?
Feels late.
Yeah.
Narveson back on the bump. Starts his second inning of work, and Lance Berkman ready to lead off. Berkman's had a down season this season. 21 homers, 72 RBIs. Still productive, but not the kind of production that we're used to seeing from Berkman. But this time he launches one into deep left, and Lance Berkman has put the Astros on top. Home run number 22.
They can't make mistakes with Lance Berkman with a fastball. A high fastball. Inner half of the plate, able to tomahawk it. Berkman ordinarily, most of his home runs come as a left-handed hitter, but able to get on top of this pitch. Too much of the plate and up in the zone, and Berkman does the rest. Out of here.
It's only his 5th home run as a right-handed hitter this year. There was no doubt about that one as Berkman puts the Stros on the board first. Berkman's been bothered by back issues this season. Squared one up against Narveson for the first run of the game. Berkman missed a couple of games this past week. And just back in the lineup tonight. Lopez out in the grass. He's got it for out number 1. All right, Rock, our carsoup.com email the booth question comes from Dave in Muskego. Dave wants to know, how does the staff go about extending a pitcher from the bullpen to a starting role?
It's kind of difficult. The only way you can do it is giving him some extended innings out of the bullpen when you have an opportunity to do that. But if you're making spot starts like Narveson, you have to be very careful with him. And a lot of times, and according to Ken Maka tonight, no real pitch count on Narveson. He said, and I quote, he's gonna let the hitters tell him how Narveson is throwing the baseball. So bottom line, if he's doing well, he can just continue on tonight. Not going to pull him just because of maybe a 75 pitch limit on his pitch count.
The hitters will tell you how you're pitching, and the hitters make out the lineup. That's good old school managerial speak right there.
Yeah. Which is true.
Sure, Maka's got a number in mind, but Narveson has made some starts this year. And all of those coming in AAA until this past Sunday. So he's a guy that has filled a lot of roles for the Brewers this season.
Yeah, didn't go over 100 pitches in his starts down in the minor leagues. And Ken Maka will be thrilled if he's able to get 100 pitches out of Narveson today. We're 4 or 5 innings.
Manny Parra had an MRI on his sore neck on Wednesday, and it showed no significant damage. But a neck that is all spasmed up and giving him a lot of trouble.
Well, last real start for Manny was September 3rd. Only threw 1 inning on the 8th. And had to come out. So even when that neck starts to feel good again and he's able to throw, you got to wonder about his arm strength.
And logic will tell you that having not pitched in a while, and he's still going to be at least a few days to even start to begin to think about a return. The Brewers might just go ahead and shut him down as well. Astros have ceased with Roy Oswald this year. Got a degenerative disc problem in his back, and he will not be pitching anymore in 2009. Narveson walks Chris Johnson. So the young third baseman at first for J.R. Tolles. Giovanni Gallardo will start on Thursday. We'll get more on that story in a little while from Drew Olson. I believe I said Thursday. Sunday. What day is today? Friday.
Friday. All day.
Mike Burns was promoted back to the big leagues. Going to help out the bullpen. J.R. Toll sends one high in the air, center field. Cameron eases back, and he's got it for the out. 2 gone. There's Mike Burns. Drove his car all the way from Nashville to Northern California. Was ready to get into off-season mode. The Brewers called him up, said, jump on a plane. You're coming back to the big leagues.
And I think he's very happy to be here, talking to Burnsy here before the ball game today. Couldn't be happier about delaying his offseason.
2.5 more weeks in the big leagues. Two outs, and the pitcher Bud Norris at the plate.
And the Brewers really needed that extra arm down there because, as we talked about, the bullpen used a lot in that Chicago series. You got to figure a couple of those relievers that pitched so much in Chicago won't be able to pitch here tonight.
Yeah, Todd Coffey pitching in 3 consecutive games. Vargas in back-to-back games. So it'll be a bullpen by committee tonight for sure. We'll see Villanueva most likely. With young Axford out there available. He'd be making his second appearance. He'd be making his big league debut at Miller Park when he pitches here. Got some young bucks in that row. Chris Smith, Josh Butler, John Axford, and Mitch Stetter. All in their early 20s.
All combined about the age of Gorman Thomas.
And the age of Gorman Thomas's hat.
Right. Good to see Gorman. A lot of the old former Brewers around the ballpark today. Jim Gantner at the hitting fungos today.
Arvidsson strikes out Norris. Astros are on the board. Lance Berkman, a home run. Now Prince Fielder. He'll lead off. 1 RBI away from a franchise record by himself.
By the dugout. Manager Ken Maka made some news tonight, guys. He just declared before the game the Brewers' plan for Giovanni Gallardo. The right-hander will make his start on Sunday as scheduled. He'll be on a pitch limit. Ken Maka wouldn't tell us what that is, but we think it's about 75 pitches, and that will be it for the season. Giovanni Gallardo will be shut down after Sunday's game. It'll be his 30th and final start of the year. Brewers taking caution. He's thrown 3,000 pitches this year. This will be his 30th start. They just want to be careful because he's lost his command, and they're worried about the workload this year on Giovanni Gallardo.
Yeah, he's thrown almost 181 innings after really not pitching much last year, and that's a big toll on a young arm. And we saw those numbers for Gallardo: 197 strikeouts, 91 walks. There's a reason for that big pitch count. 3,000 pitches.
Well, there's the Verducci rule. There's also the Dave Lawson study. Dave Lawson, part of Doug Melvin's statistical analysis team that goes through pitches and effectiveness when you get to a certain level. Fielder taking a hack early in the count against Norris. Ahead of him 0-2.
Norris doing a good job so far keeping the pitches down in the strike zone. Those are two pretty good fastballs to Prince. Had that last one on the gun here at the ballpark at 98. And it's legit. This guy can throw.
Fastball in the upper 90s from Bud Norris consistently. And he's reaching back and airing it out here against Fielder.
He's not going to throw every pitch like that, but there's certain hitters that go up there. You reach back and give it your all. And Prince Fielder is certainly one of them.
1-2 strikes on Fielder. 2-2. Fielder not only is in a share of the franchise record for runs batted in, but also in walks in franchise history. He's tied with Jeremy Burnett with 99 walks. So another walk, he'll have that record all to himself as well. Fielder down on strikes. Norris punches him out. First out in the second.
Good changeup. Norris has a very good changeup that he doesn't really throw a lot to right-handed batters. So that could very well be one of the reasons why right-handers hitting better than lefties. That changeup a good pitch. Remember, he was throwing his fastball about 98. That changeup at 90 or 89.
Casey McGee now with one away. Been an impressive month of September for Casey McGee. Of his 58 runs batted in, 18 have come this month, which is the most by any National League hitter, including Albert Pujols, who has 17 this month.
Doing a lot of damage on the fastball, but lately teams have been throwing the breaking pitches, and he's been hitting those too. Norris started him off with a couple of sliders.
And McGee sends one to right. Pence is on the run. That is down in the corner, and that ball is fair. And it's going to be extra bases for Casey McGee. They doubled down in the right field corner. McGee continues to swing a hot bat, and the Brewers have their first hit and a base runner in scoring position.
How about Casey McGee getting on top of that fastball? Now remember, this is upper 90s fastball by Bud Norris. Gets on top of it. That was letter high, out away from him, and able to hit it deep down in the right field corner for a one-out double. And yes, he can get on top of a high, hard one.
I'll never forget the Justin Verlander high fastball that McGee turned around, hit it out into right center in Detroit earlier this year. That kind of opened our eyes up a little bit on what he could do.
Not too many guys are going to be able to get that much wood on a pitch that high in the strike zone with that kind of speed. Casey McGee, good fastball hitter.
Mike Cameron a chance to tie it up.
Casey McGee really trying to concentrate on getting on top of that baseball. Didn't even get the sweet spot. Sweet spot's down here just a little bit further. And Casey gets on top of it with the level swing and drives it into the corner. Right between the eyes, J.R. Tolles.
As the conventional mask, those don't hurt. With the old-fashioned mask,
As much.
Sometimes the new masks, they light you up a little bit when you get the direct hit.
Not as much padding on them. You can see better out of those masks, those catcher's masks. like the hockey mask, but the conventional mask provides good protection on foul tips. A little bit tougher to see. Peripheral vision not as good.
Quick trip to the mound for Torres. He and Bud Norris, battery mates in AAA Round Rock for most of the season. So some comfort factor between these two. Ball and 2 strikes to Cameron. Pops it up. And he's going to stay playable for Berkman. And that is the second out of the inning. Our Taco Bell Who's Hot. We're talking about since the Brewers and the Astros started playing consistently against each other since 1970. The Brewers with a .304 career batting average. The highest single season batting average, or the 5th highest I should say, in baseball. Colorado Rockies of 93, .323 average against Houston. So when you figure the Brewers in the same division as the Astros once they move to the National League, a lot of opportunities, and have always been a good hitting team against this Astros ball club, even though the names have changed.
That couldn't have been a very easy stat to dig up.
That took all day.
That's good work. For a Friday? Nice.
For a casual Friday. Now Hardy takes a strike. 0-2 the count. JJ's got to be fighting a little rust. Some of the old Bumblebee Astros jerseys. You look at those jerseys and it makes you think about Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
And Mike Scott.
His hitter's heartburn.
And the Bumblebee jerseys and the white shoes.
And J.R. Richard.
Boy, he was something.
Yeah.
Hardy takes a call at strike 3. And the side retired. McGee's double goes for naught. We head to the 3rd. 1-0 Houston. Farm and Fleet, by Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig and save, and by Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin.
Back at Miller Park, Drew Wilson along with Brewers Executive Vice President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger. Rick, I for one am not looking forward to winter you have a reason people can be excited about January.
Right. Well, the season's not over, but we're also planning for the off season. We've got Brewers on Deck, which is our Fan Fest event on January 31st. Midwest Airlines Center. We had 10,000 people last year. It's a fun event, clinics, autograph sessions, memorabilia shows, question and answer. It should be fun, and we're looking forward to people coming out.
That's in the winter, though. We don't want to think about that. We want to think about the end of this homestand, the final homestand, Fan Appreciation Night, always a big night at the ballpark.
Right, 26th of September against the Phillies. We've got giving away a car, a Chevy Malibu, a lot of nice gifts. The players going to thank the fans for $3 million plus again this year. Tremendous achievement by the fans. And you know what? End the season on a great note, and we'll have a solid crowd for that.
Thanks for your time, Rick. Back to you, Rock and BA.
All right, Drew, thanks. Good to see Rick Schlesinger made it back in one piece from his day at Wrigley Field yesterday, along with many other Brewers. They had a nice promotion, Miller Park South promotion. It's good to see all the fans in Chicago yesterday.
Tough journey. Yeah, it is a tough journey getting back from Wrigley Field. What was it, 2 hours? Two something on the bus last night?
Yeah, but the smart ones like Rick Schlesinger and his merry band, they jumped on the Hiawatha line. They were back in no time.
That's the way to do it.
Home for dinner.
Takes almost as long to get from Wrigley Field to the highway as it does to go from the highway to Miller Park.
Yeah, to cut across Addison.
Man. Oh well.
It was a grinder.
It was a lot better trip yesterday with a win.
Brewers just made it back in time for this game tonight. Michael Bourne with a bunt hit, his 16th bunt single of the year, which is the leader in the National League, and his 41st infield hit of the season. My goodness.
And that's why his on-base percentage is so high. He's not a guy that walks, but doing what the Astros were looking for him to do. And that's hit the ball on the ground and run. The old adage, you can't outrun a pop-up.
Well, it's especially tough against a left-handed starting pitcher. When Bourne puts a bunt down, Narvison's momentum taking him away from first base. And there's not a pitcher in baseball that can win a foot race with Michael Bourne to the bag.
It was interesting to watch that play develop, and and knowing that Felipe Lopez cheating over toward first base just a little bit. He was there waiting for Prince to make the throw. I don't think Prince realized he was there. It's a good play by Lopez.
Matsui pops it up. Routine for Corey Hart. And the first out of the inning. Hey, want to remind you can catch all the action of the 09 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. The excitement begins October 7th with the Division Series on TBS. 2 American League, 2 National League Division Series on Turner, and the National League starting to come into picture a little bit. The wild card race still up for grabs, but the division's pretty well sealed up. As a matter of fact, the Cardinals open play tonight with a magic number of 8 over the Chicago Cubs, and they're playing the Cubs tonight in St. Louis. Bourne takes off, no chance for Kendall. Stolen base number 58 for Michael Bourne.
And you will be working the playoffs once again. Do you know where you're going yet? I guess you don't, do you?
Not yet. I think it'll be a National League Series.
They don't. I'm not sure who's going to be in it yet in some of the races, but Michael Bourne going on the first move from Chris Narveson and steals it without a throw. It's about 2/3 away there before Jason even had the baseball. Guy can run.
And he takes off again. Kendall's throw to third is going to be in time. Bourne is gunned down by Kendall. He got greedy in scoring position with Pence at the plate, and he's thrown out at third.
Yeah, Pence at the plate, hitting almost 290, and Carlos Lee on deck. Maybe one of the reasons why they haven't been scoring a lot of runs. Running into outs. He hasn't been thrown out that much this year. Michael Bourne with a stolen base, and the 11th time that he's been thrown out. Still a pretty good percentage.
It was a big play early. Instead of a runner at third and 1 away, Base is empty, 2 outs now. Kendall, a perfect throw to third base. That might be a good instructional. Can I make a request?
What would that be? Making the throw to third base?
No. McGee taking the throw from Kendall.
Okay.
Letting the ball travel to the bag as opposed to reaching out, making a catch, and then trying to get the tag on it.
Done.
Has it already been done?
That's a done deal.
Pitch draws the walk. See, I knew it was a good one.
Matter of fact, we can talk about the 2 ways that a catcher can throw to third, so we can do 2 things on the instructional.
All right.
I like it.
You throw right-handed and left-handed, or
behind the runner, in front of the hitter, rather.
you have 2 options.
The drop step, or you go in front of the hitter to throw to third base.
Well, I like that. Mark it down. Anytime we can talk about catching, I think you could do an entire month of instructionals on catching.
You betcha. You could. Really could.
Maybe we should brand our instructionals next year around.
All catching?
Yeah, April will be catching. May, first base play. Cardinals lead, pops it up again. And Narvison's going to get through the inning. No score in the third. Astros got a run in the second. They lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the third inning. You know him, you love him, the notorious BSG, the batting stance guy. Check him out, see if you know what stance he is imitating here. If you do, send your answer to 234-234 keyword Brewers. You can text your answer. They'll have the results. Telly and Davey, Brewers Live postgame.
It's a pretty standard batting stance.
It looked relatively generic indeed. But it is what it is. You got to look for the subtleties.
Yeah.
Hopefully you set your Time Warner Cable DVR and you can replay that.
It's a lot of thinking on a Friday.
Another casual Friday reference. Kendall leads off against Bud Norris. Hard-throwing right-hander has 2 strikeouts. He's given up 1 walk and 1 hit. That was a double by McGee. Kendall, then Narvison, and then to the top of the order. Kendall, a free agent at season's end. He has made it clear he wants to return to Milwaukee. He loves it here. He loves playing here. He loves the fans in Milwaukee. He's down on strikes. That's the 3rd strikeout for Bud Norris. Our Cabot Woodstain's legendary performance We take you back to 1982 and the great '82 season, the World Series year for the Brewers. Cecil Cooper, .313 average, 32 homers, 121 runs batted in. Of course, he had the big game-winning RBI, maybe the biggest hit in Brewers postseason history. That was against the Orioles, and such a big run producer. So many parallels between Cecil Cooper a quarter century ago and the Brewers' current first baseman, Prince Fielder.
Yep, Cecil Cooper driving in his 126 RBIs the year after the Brewers were in the postseason, and Prince Fielder doing the same, 126 the year after the postseason. That home run you just saw from Cooper, that was in Baltimore. Remember that series, that 4-game series? Brewers needed one win to clinch it, and it took till the last day. That 4-game series in Baltimore.
Well, Cooper took the RBI record for his own in '83. Gorman Thomas had it at that point. Thomas held on to it for 4 years. Thomas drove in 123 in '79. Prior to that, Larry Heisel in '78 had the record, as Narveson strikes out. The first Brewer to record over 100 RBIs was George Scott. He had the Brewers franchise record a couple of times, 73 and 75. The point is to go 26 years and that record still to be on the books is something significant. And the Fielder is in a share of the franchise record, needs one more to break it and own it by himself.
Well, you might think that Prince might be pressing a little bit. You know, Ryan Braun, was saying that he was pressing before he got his 100th career home run. He's thinking about it a little bit too much. It's only natural. And once he gets that 127th RBI, you would imagine that there's going to be many more to follow the rest of the year.
Two balls and a strike on Felipe Lopez. He walked his last time up. Another free agent at the end of the year. And you would think a player who is going to be much talked about this offseason. Lopez has bounced around with a number of ball clubs.
But he's hit everywhere he's been.
Everywhere he's been. And he's got a .308 batting average this year. He's in the top 10 in the league in hitting to start the day. Lopez draws a walk. 2-out walk given up by Bud Norris, his second walk issue to Lopez.
And Lopez on base percentage near .380, so a very good leadoff hitter. Hasn't done a whole lot of running as a member of the Brewers because he's had those leg issues, but he can steal bases too.
.55 pitches for the 24-year-old Norris here in the third inning. 2 outs and Corey Hart the batter. Hart rolled into a 6-4-3 double play his last time up. Hit the ball sharply, and it was a nice play by Tejada. That gets away from Toles. He can't find it. Lopez on his way to third now, and he'll make it. A two-base wild pitch.
Well, Toles just kept looking behind him, looking all over the place. The one thing you want to do if you're catching and you're in a situation like that, you look at the pitcher, he's going to be pointing at the baseball. Sometimes you just can't find it by yourself. Looks down, he looks around, he looks everywhere but at the pitcher. You can see Bud Norris. He's pointing at the baseball. When you can't find it, you have to look at your pitcher. He'll tell you where it is.
That sounds like an instructional right there.
We've got them all covered the rest of the year.
Start writing that down. You don't need that.
The only problem is I'm not going to let a ball hit me in the chest.
Yeah, how are you going to reenact that?
We can pretend.
We'll work it out. Look at Telly down there. He'll take one. Corey Hart with a base hit, and we are tied. Hart rips one to left. Lopez scores. All even at 1 here in the 3rd inning.
I got the slider that time up in the strike zone, and Corey Hart able to hit it hard into left field. Hart has done a good job keeping that pitch down in the strike zone, left that one up. And Corey Hart hits it hard into left field, so the 2-out walk and the 2-base wild pitch cost Bud Norris a run.
Back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning for Norris. Hart has his 46th RBI. And here's Ryan Braun with 2 outs. And a base stealer at first in Hart.
And the one thing that makes that fastball hittable by Bud Norris is it's very straight. It doesn't have a lot of movement on it. And as you get through the lineup, hitters get accustomed to that velocity. You're going to start getting the barrel of the bat on it. Interesting that Bud Norris has a decision in each of his first 8 starts this year. That's unusual. Good record at 5-3. Thought it was a slider, but it was a fastball up right down the middle of the plate, and Corey hit it hard.
A shot right at Matsui. And the side retired. Braun rolls out to Corey Hart. Ties it up with a base hit. We head to the 4th at Miller Park.
Lance Berkman with 1 swing gave the Astros a 1-0 lead off Chris Narveson. Bud Norris was cruising through the first 2, but he walked Felipe Lopez for the 2nd time, and that set up this base hit by Corey Hart to drive in the run. We're tied at 1-1 here at Miller Park. Guys, back to you.
All right, Drew, thanks a lot. Good to have Drew Olson with us tonight. Telly Hughes into the hot seat, the Craig Cashon seat, Brewers Live pregame and postgame host.
You know what that means, don't you?
That means Craig Cashon's not here.
That means Telly's going to be joining us for the instructional.
Oh, is that right? Nice. He's a former ball player. Played college baseball.
We get him actively involved tonight.
Activated from the DL.
From the taxi squad.
September call-up, Telly Hughes. What are we going to have him doing tonight? Are we still in development?
Oh no, we're doing catching. We're going to talk about covering third base. You know what Casey McGee did. We're going to have Telly slide into third base.
Nice. Look at it.
He doesn't know it yet.
Huh?
Head first slide in third base.
Telly don't slide. Tell him don't take 2-0. Workman, a swing and a miss. And Narveson has his second strikeout. Duck don't take 2-0 either. Who primarily hit in front of and behind Cecil Cooper in the Brewers' 1983 lineup? That's a good question. We're talking about the primary support system for Cecil Cooper during his record-setting year. A few lineups used that year by Harvey Keene, but he had some pretty good sluggers around him, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. Molitor, Yount.
Just to name a few. There was a great scene earlier tonight during batting practice. 5 former Brewers, all part of that World Series team, from both ball clubs converging. Let's see. Cecil Cooper was Gorman Thomas. Jim Gantner was there.
Ron Money.
And Ed Romero. And the only one who got dressed up for the occasion was Big Spike, Gorman Thomas. Take that back 26, 27 years. We're talking about those at the heart of the World Series team. That was quite a scene earlier today.
I'd like to be a fly on Gorman's hat on that conversation. Did you see that hat he had on?
That fly's probably still on that hat. His little legs are just stuck right to it. That's his gamer, Rock. He can't get rid of his gamer. Tejada into deep center. Cameron eases back. 2 outs in the inning.
How many rounds of golf do you think that hat has gotten Gorman Thomas? Good old Spike. Good to see him at the ballpark every weekend. Had some back surgery, and apparently it's going well.
There's a good hat. Steamed up properly. Young third baseman Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson's dad, Ron, is the AAA manager in Pawtucket in the Red Sox organization. He's proud of his son in the big leagues. But Chris flies out, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Narveson. Fielder leads off.
Hard time for crew in the community. Brewers general manager Doug Melvin and his wife Ellen have been passionate supporters of the Susan G. Komen for the Cure, helping raise more than $70,000 in a quest to end breast cancer forever. Tonight around the ballpark, fans join them in this cause. They've been buying raffle tickets for just $5, and one lucky fan is going to go home with a framed autographed jersey of Brewers outfielder Ryan Braun tonight. Guys, that's a pretty good prize and a really good cause that Brewers general manager Doug Melvin and his wife Ellen are getting behind.
Absolutely, and Major League Baseball connected to the Susan G. Komen Foundation as well. Good to be a part of it. Prince Fielder leads off, and there's a little flare falling fast. That's a fair ball. Fielder on his way to second as Carlos Lee digs it out. And it's a double for the big man to start this fourth inning.
Now Prince able to get one right off the end of the bat. He wasn't trying to pull it, and Carlos Lee out there in left field not able to get there, so a leadoff double for Milwaukee. First time or second time they've had their leadoff hitter aboard. First time was a leadoff walk to Felipe Lopez in the first inning. Using left field very well this year, Prince Fielder. That's why he's got that average near 300. Using right field very well as well.
Using all fields well.
Easy for me to say.
Kind of hoping Carlos Lee would come up with that baseball. I was looking forward to a belly flop from Prince once again. But a standing double. And now Casey McGee with a chance to put the Brewers on top in this fourth inning. McGee has been red hot. If you count his hit tonight, his double in the second, he's now 11 for his last 22. 500 batting average. Casey's still not being discussed nationally in the Rookie of the Year candidacy, as he goes down swinging, chased a high fastball that even McGee couldn't get on top of.
Yeah, it looks good to the eyes because it's right up there at eye level, but very tough to get on top of. And this time Norris gets one a little bit further up in the strike zone. Casey able to hit one to right his last time up.
First out of the inning. Fielder still at second base, and here's Cameron. Mike Cameron just one home run shy of his 20th of the season, which would make it 8 seasons in his big league career with 20 home runs. And it would be 4 consecutive seasons with 20 plus homers. And 25 a year ago. Big production from a center fielder.
And gets him in bunches. And Cam will get hot, drive in some runs, hit some homers. One of the many streaky offensive players from Milwaukee.
When you think about it, he's got 19 home runs and has not homered in 3 weeks. Cameron's last home run came against the Reds here at Miller Park. That was on the 27th of August.
Hit some balls pretty good at Wrigley, but the wind was blowing in. Might have had 2 or 3 home runs in Wrigley had it not been for that wind.
Who put that there? Cameron a free agent to be as well. And there will be a lot of discussion about Mike Cameron.
A lot of decisions to be made in the offseason. Doug Melvin, Gord Ash, Brewers front office. It's going to be very interesting.
Broke his bat, pulls it foul. Count even 2-2.
Not going to be too many positions that are not going to be discussed quite a bit. You figure left field, not much of a discussion there. First base. Just about every other position will be discussed at great length.
Well, ideally, you would think, you go on, you make your decisions on the pitching staff first, and then you build around with your position players. But if free agency goes like it did last year, where it was delayed, CC Sabathia signed late, which meant everybody else signed late. For example, the Brewers didn't sign Braden Looper until just before pitchers and catchers reported. That could affect things as well, right? How you go about signing players. think right now most baseball general managers wondering how the trend is going to go this year. There are still financial issues with ball clubs, and teams are going to wait out certain free agents. There is, there's an order. John Lackey would be the first chip in the free agent pool next year, you would imagine, on the pitching side. Cameron takes a cold strike 3. Joe West rings him up. Cameron not pleased. That's 6 strikeouts for Bud Norris.
And 3 of them have come to the man at second base, so he's making his pitches when he's needed them. Right on the outside corner with a slider.
Aflac trivia, talking about who was the protection for Cecil Cooper in the '83 lineup, the year he drove in 126. Robin Yount and Ted Simmons. As Hardy bounces one to short, and the inning is over. A leadoff double, stranded at second. On an RBI single by Hart. The lone Astros run on a Lance Berkman home run to start the second inning. Big crowd tonight on a Friday night for baseball in Milwaukee. Expecting great crowds all week long. It's the final 10 games of the regular season. And then Miller Park will be closed up until next April. Not completely closed, there are things that are open during the off season. Restaurants. Always buy your Brewers gear at the team store in the off season.
Roof stays open. And always good food and spirits at Friday's Front Row Sports Grill. It's a good lunch spot.
Great place to watch a game and a great place in the wintertime to watch it snow. Something about a baseball stadium covered in snow that I find interesting.
It's okay as long as it's December and January.
Right.
Not April. Like a lot of those roofless ballparks like Minnesota.
They are going to be roofless next year. Target Field in Minneapolis. Well, when this homestand ends, the next time the Brewers will be at Miller Park will be in an exhibition series next April of 2010 against the Tigers, and then the home opener is against the Colorado Rockies. This year, the Brewers had an off day on opening day. Had an off day before the season even started.
Needed it badly. What a waste.
Opening homestand is against the Rockies and the Cardinals. And then the Brewers go to Wrigley Field for the first road trip. It's going to be a little chilly in Chicago for that first series at Wrigley Field.
No ivy on the wall then. Hasn't been that often that the Brewers have opened up their season at home. That's a rarity.
Hasn't happened since '07. Remember that? Ben Sheets, complete game against the Dodgers that day. One of his best games of his career. That was my first game.
How'd it go for you?
I hardly remember. It only lasted about 2 hours. I think it was 2:03 was the game time.
You're thinking this is a piece of cake.
Piece of cake. This guy Bill Schrader, he talks all the time. It's perfect. I'll just sit here. That was a fun day. Vin Scully was in the ballpark that day. So the first home opener since 2007. Coming up next year. You can check that full Major League schedule at Brewers.com, the 2010 version.
10-pitch at bat for J.R. Tolles. He's been hooking everything down that left field line, except for that last pitch.
Tolles just 3 for 21 in the big leagues this year. This is just his 9th game. Spent most of the year in AAA. He's been on the DL a couple of times as well. That's a foul ball. Just missed the bag. Tolles was given the everyday job behind the plate last season. He's put up good numbers in AAA. Matter of fact, had a 300 season in AAA Round Rock last year. Has not converted that success to the big leagues yet.
Yeah, pretty good defensive catcher. Moves around pretty well. Good arm. Just hasn't been able to hit.
On a shot to McGee. What a pickup. And completes it for the out. Outstanding play by Casey McGee.
Well, he earned this out, did Chris Narveson. Just continued to throw strikes, and a good job by Casey. So he had the glove down on the ground. Easier to go up on a ball than it is to have the glove up and then bring it down. Good reactions and a nice play at third base. 12 pitches that time to get Tolles,
which sends Narveson's pitch count to 74. Facing the pitcher Bud Morris here in the 5th. Norris struck out in the 2nd inning. Narveson with 2 punch outs. He's given up 4 hits to the Astros, including the home run by Berkman. 2 of the 4 hits, however, actually 3 of the 4 hits have been infield hits. Bourne has 2 and Hunter Pence with 1.
Yeah, important for Chris Narveson to show the Brewers that he could be a serviceable pitcher for them. When you talk about next year, what do you do with Chris Narveson? Nice to have another left-hander in the rotation or even in the bullpen.
Norris sends one deep to left center. Cameron is there. Runs it down as he crashes against the wall. Mike Cameron showing a Gold Glove form. 2 real nice plays in this 5th inning.
Well, he's something else in the outfield. He just glides over to that baseball. Looks like it's effortless, but he's making up a lot of ground. Actually outruns this baseball. Never takes his eye off of it. Knows exactly where he is. Counting the steps as he gets on that warning track and hauls it in. Norris gave that one a pretty good ride. A 2-1 fastball. And Cam able to make the play.
Cameron's won 3 Gold Gloves and still has that Gold Glove form. Ryan Braun and Corey Hart talking about how enjoyable it is to play around Mike Cameron and how much they learn just watching him.
And just not, going back on baseballs, but how to play different hitters. You always see Cameron and his corner outfielders making eye contact as far as positioning goes, and Corey Hart's 100%. I mean, that's a pretty fast outfield. Ryan Braun runs well. He's continued to improve in the outfield, and Corey Hart has turned into a very good outfielder.
Well, when the season began, there were visions of this particular outfield doing some significant damage at the plate as well. Possibility of 80 home runs was a realistic number. Corey Hart had a 2020 season last year. He's had a down year.
Yeah, you're asking Ryan Braun to hit 40, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, Braun hit 40, Cameron hit 20, and Hart hit 20. Well, you figure you get 35 out of Braun, maybe 25 out of Cameron, 25 from Hart.
Okay.
What's the matter with these guys?
Yeah, that's not asking too much. Man.
That's what expectations will do for you. This game's not that easy. But based on career numbers and career trends, that was a number that was talked about this offseason. And I don't think anybody really batted an eye at it. Don Money talking it over with Alcides Escobar. Narveson strikes out Michael Bourne. That's his third strikeout, and another 3 up, 3 down innings. 7 in a row retired by Narveson. He's through 5. Brewers coming up trying to get him a lead. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Miller Park on a Friday night. Glad you're with us on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Jason Kendall leads off for the Brew Crew. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder, Drew Olson, Telly Hughes, and Davey Nelson. The Brewers live tonight. Glad you're with us. All tied at 1. Frank Catalanato has already moved into the on-deck circle. So the night is done for Narveson. 5 innings and just 1 run allowed.
Nice job by Chris. He made the one mistake. He gave up the home run to Lance Berkman. As you mentioned, BA, 3 of the 4 hits, infield hits. Spotted his fastball very well, got ahead in the count. and mixed in that curveball very well.
Well, meanwhile, Bud Norris is racking up the K's. Second time he has struck out Kendall, and his 7th of the game.
And tonight's timer of the game winner is hook, line, and sinker in Hartford. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to an April and May 2010 Brewers home game. That's offered courtesy of the Tavern Liquor, Wisconsin, and our good friends at Miller Lite.
Frank Catalanato off the bench for the Brewers. Bench hitting for Narveson. Narveson goes 5 innings, allowing 1 run on 4 hits, but he finishes having retired the last 7. Well, the Brewer hitters would love to give him a lead here, give Narveson a chance to win. It would be his 2nd career major league victory. Carlos Villanueva will work the 6th.
And Carlos threw an inning in yesterday's ball game. Part of that good run by the Brewers bullpen yesterday in Chicago.
Villanueva had a comfortable 3-up 3-down inning in the 7th yesterday, retiring the top of the order against Chicago. But to get 5 innings out of Narveson, I'm sure Ken Maka very pleased. Narveson able to go 3 innings in his last start. A guy who has bounced around between the rotation in AAA and bullpen in the big league, so not exactly stretched out like a starter would normally be this time of year.
Yeah, looked a lot more relaxed today, though, than he did in his first start. And you would figure that. I mean, first start after being in the bullpen, hadn't started in a few years at the big league level. Was it 2006?
That's right. As a matter of fact, you see the strikeout from Bud Norris. Narveson's first major league strikeout, or excuse me, major league start was against the Astros at Minute Maid Park in 06. So he's never made a start in a stadium that does not have a retractable roof. There you go.
All right. Houston, Arizona, and Milwaukee. Well done again on a Friday night.
A casual Friday.
That's good stuff. I like it.
Felipe Lopez has been walked twice, and Norris is behind him 2-0. Wow. Missing badly.
What is it with Lopez tonight?
He's allowed 3 walks, all of them to the Brewer leadoff hitter, and wasn't close this time around. And now Corey Hart will step in. Back in the 3rd inning, Norris struck out the first 2 batters, walked Lopez, uncorked a 2-base wild pitch, and then Corey Hart drove in the run. And now Lopez standing at first with 2 away after back-to-back strikeouts, and Hart a chance to do damage again.
A good pitch for Corey to hit right there. Fastball down the middle, about mid-thigh high. Remember, the guy throwing the fastball as hard as Norris has been. That's where you want it. You want it down in the strike zone. It's easier to get to when it's down. Much more difficult when it's up around the belt or at the letters.
A strike on the corner. 0-2. Norris has a breaking ball that is the velocity of a fastball for some major league pitchers. 89 miles an hour with that slider.
Yeah, there are times when it's around 85, and then there are other times when it's 89, 90. I think he's also throwing a cutter, a pitch that looks a lot like a slider, but a lot harder.
0-2 to Hart. Just missed. And the Brewers get an inning going with 2 outs. Now 2 on. Lopez walks. Hart hit by a pitch.
And you know Corey felt that one. That was one of those Bud Norris buzz bombs, fastballs. Got away from him. You see the look on Eddie Cedars' face. That had to hurt. Got all meat though. Right on the bottom end. You're going to get hurt, that's where to get hit.
And especially with 2 strikes, it doesn't hurt near as much.
Right.
But Norris wondering what he has to do to get through an inning. 2 on with 2 outs. Dewey Robinson, the Astros pitching coach. A quick visit. Pitch count is rising for Norris. 90 pitches thus far. And here's Ryan Braun. This is the last guy Norris wanted to face with men on base. There's that cutter in there for a strike. Fielder would be next.
Man, you know Ryan Braun looking for a pitch out away from him. Likes to extend those arms. Drive that ball in the right center. Corey Hart with great speed. Good chance. Ryan finds a gap. He's going to be able to score.
This will likely be Norris's last hitter. Got the lefty in the bullpen, the fielder. Braun fouls it away.
And there's the one he wanted. Try and hide your emotions when you're up there at the plate, but when you see Ryan pace around like that and walk out of the batter's box, you know he had one to hit, and he missed it. Out over the plate and down. Good pitch to hit. That's the old Ryan Braun talking to himself. A little stroll out of the batter's box.
Internal dialogue. 1-2. All tied at 1 in the 5th. Braun fights one off. Ryan Braun in his brief career, 3 seasons, has hit 14 career home runs against the Astros. That's in just 151 at bats. He's averaging a home run about every 10.5 at bats against this team, which is the best among active players. So he's had his share of success against Houston. Another 1-2 offer. It stays at 1-2.
Norris just not getting that fastball up where Toles wants it. You can see the way he's getting up out of his crouch and holding the glove at about the letters. Norris has left the last 2 pitches that Toles wanted up there down in the zone. Ryan's got a piece of them.
See what he has in mind for Braun. Another 1-2 pitch. And a fastball bounced to Hara. His only play is first, and he just gets Braun for the out. And Norris is out of the inning. Still tied at 1. On our way to the 6th. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery and its family of instant scratch games. Odds are you'll like them. By Airtran. Go. There's nothing stopping you. And by Aflac. We've got you under our wing. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Milwaukee Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Brewers. Back in Milwaukee, always great to be here. Some of the best fans in baseball, our great crew. Producer Chris Withers, director Michael Odino.
Nice big broadcast booth.
Nice large broadcast booth with no exposed nails. Carlos Villanueva on the pitch for the Brewers. He's in relief of Chris Narveson, who pitched well tonight. 5 innings, just 1 run. Villanueva appearing for the 59th time and well on his way to a 60-game season for the Brewers.
Had a good road trip. Threw the baseball very well. And those all-speed pitch is the reason for it.
Villanueva has the ability to throw 4 pitches for strikes consistently, which is why he has success at the major league level without the big fastball. And when he was going bad and when he was getting hit hard, he didn't have command of all of his pitches. And that's usually the way it goes, huh? Little pop up from Matsui. He's having a rough night at the plate. 0 for 3. And 1 gone in the 6th.
Well, tomorrow against the Astros, it's Milwaukee Art Museum night right here at Miller Park. First 15,000 fans will get a special savings on admission to see Andy Warhol the last decade, presented by the Milwaukee Art Museum. Go to Brewers.com for details. All the all-speed pitches in the world, but Carlos Villanueva will be the first to tell you that locating the fastball is the most important thing. Has to get ahead in the count to make those all-speed pitches effective.
Hunter Pence with 1 away. There's a good pitch. Took something off it. Puts a strike on the board. 1-1 to count on Pence. And for Villanueva and most pitchers, but especially for guys like Villanueva, this is the key pitch in the at-bat. The 1-1 pitch. A bouncer and a base hit. Pence with a single. First hit for the Astros since the third inning, and the first base runner since Pence reached on a walk in the third.
And Hunter Pence with his second base hit and waited back nicely on a slider. You know, that 1-1 pitch is always the decisive pitch in any at bat. I mean, you're either going to be ahead in the count or behind in the count. The next pitch is either going to be 1-2 on the hitter or 2-1. That's why most pitching coaches will tell you they're not so much worried about first pitch strikes. It's where are you when it's 1-1? What pitch do you throw? Is it a strike or is it a ball? That'll tell you, pretty much give you an indication of how aggressive the hitter's going to be.
Got to be careful here with Carlos Lee at the plate. Ground ball, it finds a hole. Another base hit. Oh, another few feet to the right. That's a double play. But Lee finds the hole between third and short. Carlos Lee has a 10-game hitting streak going.
A lot of ground balls that have found their way for base hits. The only line drive base hits or base hit that was not a ground ball was Lance Berkman's home run. A seeing eye single once again.
The Astros with 6 hits, 3 of those infield hits. Berkman's home run started the second. And at this point, the only Astros run. Berkman turns around, hits left-handed against Villanueva. Missed a couple of games with a bad back. Berkman not running all that well.
Yeah, good speed at second base, but not very good speed at first base or at home plate.
Berkman has 22 homers this year. His 5th as a right-handed hitter came in the second. That started the inning against Narveson. The only run allowed by Chris Narveson tonight in 5 innings of work. Two on with 1 away. Infield set up for a double play. And a strike. Fastball from Villanueva.
Yeah, the double play has been a big part of the Astros season. They turn a lot in the field, third most, but they've grounded into the most double plays offensively in the National League.
Ball at 2 strikes. And another strike on a 1-1 pitch for Villanueva. It's a completely different mindset for a hitter. Down 1-2 as opposed to ahead of the count 2-1.
You know, when you're ahead in the count, particularly for Villanueva, you get hitters to swing at pitches out of the zone, especially the changeup that Carlos likes to throw. A lot of times you throw that changeup when they're down in the count. They don't swing at it. Where is that? Oh, goodness. My goodness, is that a good pitch. Perfect pitch by Villanueva. Goodness gracious. That had plenty of the inside corner. Unbelievable.
Two and 2. Kendall right back in there. And Bergman pops it foul. That's in the seats. Count remains a 2-2 on Lance Berkman. Bergman starting to rewrite the Astros record books. He's just put up monster numbers since coming to the big leagues. His first year in the big leagues was 99. His rookie season was 2000. Led the league in RBIs in just his 3rd season at 128 ribbies. 6 seasons with over 100 RBIs. He's going to come up short in 2009. Got him, struck him out. Villanueva took something off, and Berkman a strikeout victim. Number 1 for Villanueva in a big spot to get a strikeout.
Struck him out twice. Nice changeup right on the outside corner. Looked like he struck him out on a fastball in. Wasn't called a strike. And then got him on a beautiful off-speed pitch.
So Berkman retired. Miguel Tejada is coming up, and Fazio wants a word with Villanueva.
Hey fans, visit the official online shop of the Brewers at Brewers.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the Brewers.com shop.
Interim pitching coach Chris Fazio. Quick visit with Tejada coming up. Tejada's having a good season with Houston this year. A .301 hitter to start the day. There was a time when Tejada was the biggest workhorse in baseball, playing the shortstop position. 6 straight years he played every single game. All 162.
Needs to be a good power source as a shortstop. Not so much now, but uses right field very well. Got to be careful with fastballs away.
Tejada played for Ken Maka in Oakland. Matter of fact, Tejada was an MVP with the Athletics. American League MVP back in '02 when Maka skippered the A's. Or coached with the A's. Ken Maka makes a lot of comparisons to Prince Fielder this year and Miguel Tejada of 2002. Guys that you could count on to play every day, big run producers, the difference makers in the lineup.
It's always important to have the top of your order 1 through 4 in there just about every day. Ken Maka has had to shuffle around with his number 2 hitter, but since Felipe Lopez has joined the Brewers, I mean, that leadoff hitter and 3 and 4 in the lineup have given a lot of consistency at the top, and they've been scoring runs as a result.
A couple of National League All-Stars this year in that image. 2-1. Tejada lines one into left center. That's a base hit. The Astros are going to take the lead. Pence will score. Tejada thought about second. He wisely holds up and gives Houston a 2-1 advantage in the 6th. 76 RBIs for Tejada.
Hung a slider, and that's the last thing you want to do to Miguel Tejada. You can get him with hard stuff in. He uses right field very well. You can see that slider just stayed right up down the middle of the plate, and Tejada hit it a little bit toward the end of the bat, but able to dump it into left center. And Mike Cameron able to hold him to a single.
3 hits in the inning against Villanueva. And it's Chris Johnson at the plate. Runners at the corners for Houston. First run the bullpen has allowed since Tuesday for Milwaukee. Young third baseman Chris Johnson playing at only his 6th big league game of his career. 22. Suddenly Bud Norris with the lead now.
trying to get himself yet another decision.
Prince Fielder will lead off the 6th inning, and it'll be the 3rd time Fielder has led off in this game. Braun has made the final out in each of his first 3 at bats. Villanueva strikes out Chris Johnson. The inning is over. Cardinals picks up 2 punch-outs, but 3 hits and an RBI from Tejada gives the Astros the lead with Fielder coming up. Lance Berkman put the Astros on the board first. That was a leadoff homer in the 2nd inning. Berkman's 22nd of the year. Then Corey Hart answered an RBI single with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Tied the game at 1. Miguel Tejada responds. Tejada, a 2-out RBI single in the top of this frame, the 6th. Bud Norris is out of the game now. A chance to be the winner tonight for Houston. Norris goes 5 innings, strikes out 8. And surrenders just the 1 run. Bernie's in good company. He'd love to get on his slide tonight. The Brewers have not homered. Prince Fielder leads off in this 6th inning, and the Astros have a new pitcher, left-hander Tim Burdack.
2 down there for Cecil Cooper. Tim Burdack and Wesley Wright. Good numbers for Burdack. 67th game, a 2.87 ERA. With 50 strikeouts and just a little over 53 innings of work.
Fielder off the end of the bat. Michael Bourne will make the call and the catch. Fielder's 1 for 3. Time now for our U.S. Cellular text to vote question this week. We've been asking you at home, what would Prince Fielder's best position on a football field be? You can text your answer to 234-234. W for nose guard, X for defensive end, Y for linebacker, Z for fullback. And we'll give you the final results on Sunday, which will be Giovanni Gallardo's last start. So if you're not tuning in Sunday for the U.S. Cellular text to vote question, then at least you can check us out for Gallardo. Burdack is out. Pitching change for Cecil Cooper. We'll take a timeout. question comes from Andy in Kenosha. Hey, Rock, were you and Cecil Cooper ever on the Brewers at the same time?
Yeah. 83, 84, I believe. I think parts of 85 as well.
You had a front row seat for his franchise RBI record.
Yeah, 86. Yeah, 87 was it for Cecil. I believe it was 87. Have to look at that.
Sammy Herbacio, the new Astros pitcher after Burdick retired fielder.
87 was the year Greg Brock took over at first base.
Cooper came to the Brewers in '77, and his career ended in '87. Traded for George Scott, one first baseman for another. Scott was a big star at the time, big run producer for the Brewers. Cooper, an up-and-comer with Boston.
Herbacio has much better numbers in the major leagues than he did down in the minor leagues this year. ERA around 4 in AAA Round Rock. ERA a little bit over 1 in 18 games for the Houston Astros. Second time he's been with the Astros this year.
Got Casey McGee with 1 out. 2-1 the Astros lead it. And McGee takes a ball.
He's got a little Jose Valverde in him, doesn't he? Little gamesmanship, showmanship out there on the mound.
A smaller version of the Astros closer.
Kind of an unorthodox delivery. You see the way he opens up with that front shoulder and then tries to compensate, with his throwing motion. That's a elbow problem just waiting to happen.
It's got every orthopedic surgeon perked up at this point.
Licking their chops.
And a little big league flair to go with it. Put it this way, these aren't the mechanics you would teach in the Little League.
Watch that front leg. It's going to go over toward the first baseline. Shoulder opens up and he slings it across his body. That puts a lot of pressure, a lot of stress on that arm.
But also very tough to hit. And McGee is down on strikes. Second out of the inning.
Makes it very tough on right-handed batters. And throws it right down the middle. A little bit of a wrinkle to it.
Makes my elbow hurt. It's amazing what you can come up with in the big leagues.
Especially in only 19 games. You got that going on in 19 games?
Surely he's had that his whole life.
You think, huh? A little bit of Valverde, a little bit of the old Mike Fetters, the bulldog look.
Hal Raboski.
Got called up in mid-August, second time he was called up. I don't remember him doing that when he faced the Brewers in Houston. He might have.
Oh, you would have noticed it.
Oh yeah, I know I would.
That gets the Bill Schroeder radar up in a hurry. 2-1 to Cameron. Game's passed you by, Rob.
You know what? That's true. You know what? That kind of thing. You're right. It's okay. As long as we all understand that things are different, everybody will be happy. You lower your expectations. And what I mean by that is, what was accepted, 20 years ago. Or more importantly, what was not accepted 20 years ago certainly is now. And you just got to get over it and deal with it, right? Everybody would be happier for it.
You're saying 20 years ago, Herbacio wouldn't have been able to get out of his own dugout doing that,
right.
Much less
right.
in front of the opposition.
Right. It's okay, though. It's the way it is.
2-2 to Cameron. Got him. Herbacio prancing and dancing around. Strikes out 2. And the Brewers are down in order. We head to the 7th. 2-1 Astros. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Miller Lite. There's light beer and there's triple hopped brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. And by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Tundra Territory at Miller Park. Our Miller Lite, what's on tap? The Brewers and the Astros tomorrow on WMLW. And then back on Fox Sports Wisconsin Sunday for the finale of this series. Yovani Gallardo will start on Sunday, and it'll be his final start of the season, so you won't want to miss that one. Cubs come to town Monday, 3-game series with Chicago, and then the Phillies for 4 to wrap up the homestand. Final homestand of the year. Chris Smith is on to pitch. Got J.R. Tolles leading off. Tolles, and then the pitcher spot. Then back to the top of the order, and Michael Bourne.
Yeah, Smith has been good. 28th appearance. Made September call up and a 3.50 ERA. Very good changeup for Smith.
Well, these might be meaningless games in the standings. No postseason will come from either of these teams. As Hardy backhands, he bobbles. And Tolles is going to be safe. Hardy's having a tough night. That'll be an error on JJ.
Well, backhand play that JJ ordinarily eats up in his sleep. Knocks it down, but J.R. Tolles able to beat it at first base.
And with a lead man aboard, Cecil Cooper will go to the bench. Jeff Keppinger will hit for Houston. Check that. This is Edwin Masonette. Keppinger was on his way out, then called back. Now Masonette is in there.
Going to be asked to bunt, I would imagine.
He squares and takes a ball.
You don't want to waste Keppinger in a bunting situation. Cecil Cooper has 9 players on his bench.
Close play over there, or tough throw for a fielder to handle.
It would look like he was going to run. And maybe trying to get a good jump on a bunt.
It's on the other side, might have a chance. Fielder had to bring it around, and Tolles able to get his hand in there. An error has an Astro at first. Edwin Masonette at the plate. In his third tour with the Astros this year. He's actually been pretty productive when he has started games. He's made 16 starts and a .315 batting average. Up there to bunt, and he pushes one foul. Both of these organizations in full-blown evaluation mode right now. A lot of young players getting a chance, trying to make decisions on rosters. You'd much rather be in a pennant race, but you got to use every game to your advantage. See how a young player handles the big league life.
No such thing as a meaningless game. You go out there, every player has a reason to go out there and perform well. That's what you're paid to do. And particularly important for young players that are trying to, as you mentioned, show these organizations what they can offer.
Masonette pops a bunt foul, so it's 1-2. Sent up there specifically to get a bunt down, and Masonette having a tough time doing so. Masonette's maintained a .300 batting average in 63 Major League at-bats. Not bunting, and down he goes on strikes.
Yeah, high changeup, and Masonette's chased it. Not able to get it done. And good job by Chris Smith. Seems as though Ken Maka is writing something down after every play. Making notes, some reminders after the ball game, maybe have a chat with a player or two.
Top of the order, Michael Bourne. One of the toughest to double up in the game today. He's grounded into one double play in 547 at-bats this year. To turn a double play on Bourne, he's got to hit one right at an infielder like a shot.
On one hop. Yeah.
Michael Bourne grew up in the Houston area. Matter of fact, he and Jason Bourgeois played together for 7 years coming up through Little League, Pony League. They're good friends. Came from the same Little League facility. Two major leaguers from the same facility in the Houston area, East Houston. That's saying something.
Yeah. Good baseball in Texas.
Put that right by him, did Smith. 2 outs on back-to-back strikeouts. Hey, tickets for the Brewers on Deck event in 2010 are on sale now. It's all set to take place Sunday, January 31st from 10 to 5 at the Midwest Airlines Center. Brewers on Deck is the Winter Fan Festival that will help bridge the gap between the Wisconsin winter and spring training. Tickets can be purchased at the Miller Park ticket office. You can also call 414-902-4100 or you can visit Brewers.com. That was a great event last year. That was the unveiling of Trevor Hoffman, as a matter of fact, a season ago. Introductory press conference at the On Deck event.
And Bob Uecker's winter warm-up, that was a lot of fun. Riverside Theater. Played Hell's Bells as Trevor Hoffman came out on stage. And you're talking about Michael Bourne and double plays. 548 at bats, one double play.
Yeah, just one. He's in all the speed categories. You know how you gauge speed. Things like infield hits and bunt hits, stolen bases, of course. Triples. Good changeup by Smith, 1-2. Matsui. He's 0 for 3. This is what I love about baseball. Remember the conversation we had about Bud Norris? 8 strikeouts through 5 innings, throwing a breaking ball. His slider at 89 miles per hour. Chris Smith's fastball rarely touches 89 miles an hour, and yet he's got a chance to strike out the side here in the 7th. There's a lot of ways to be successful.
Well, Trevor Hoffman does it every night. It's all about getting ahead in the count and making him swing at a pitch that is not a strike. Speaking of strikeout pitchers.
Roy Oswalt shut down for the rest of the year. Degenerative disc in his back. That'll be an injury that the Astros will pay close attention to in the offseason. I was watching Oswalt's performance from the 05 World Series earlier today. Now check it, the 05 NLCS, that was against St. Louis, game 6. Wow. Dominating performance that sent the Astros to the World Series. Oh, where is that pitch? 3-2 the count, close one. Matsui lays off and able to check his swing and work the count full.
Well, might have been low. Might have been low, might have been off the plate.
So 3-2. The runner at first, Tolles, will get a head start. He reached on an error to start this inning. And a base hit.
And a good piece of hitting by Matsui. And yet another ground ball base hit by the Houston Astros. Doing a nice job finding the holes in the infield tonight. Tried to sneak the fastball by him. Tried to get it on the outside corner. And Kaz Matsui with a nice job. Good at bat by Matsui. Taking a close pitch that looked like it might have been, they called strike 3. Got a second chance. And found the hole in the left field.
2 on with 2 out. Hunter Pence the batter. 2-1 Astros. Astros took the lead last inning on a 2-out hit by Tejada. And a dangerous spot for Chris Smith. Got Pence up, Carlos Lee on deck. It's been a tough out tonight. Infield hit, a walk, and a single and a run scored. You'd rather not have to face Carlos Lee with men on.
He's a dangerous hitter right here in this count. 2-1. Got good power.
Off the end of the bat, Hardy flips to Lopez. The inning is over. Smith works around it.
Getting you set for Brewers Live, sponsored by Lincoln Mercury after the game. And Davey, this game started with the pitching matchup on paper. Didn't sound like a lot, but Bud Norris and Chris Narveson really did a great job with Narveson pitching very well.
Well, Chris Narveson did a wonderful job. 5 strong innings. Made one mistake to Lance Berkman, really, and he hit that out of the ballpark. But hey, he gave what Ken Maka wanted, at least 5 innings.
Well, we'll see if the Brewers can get to this Astros bullpen as we head throughout the rest of the game. But our on-field instructional, we're going to place the tag on the base runner, and we'll have some little leaguers to help us out. Meaning, BA and Rock, I will not be sliding. That is definitely a guarantee. So we'll send it back to you guys in the booth.
Come on, Telly. Get dirty, man.
I would think he would want to participate and get dirty, right? Down and dirty.
His first day in the hot seat.
Craig would. No, he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't either.
Either would I.
Here we go to the 7th. Jeff Fulcino is on the pitch. J.J. Hardy swings at the first pitch. And a base hit for Hardy. A flare that falls. And after all of those line drive outs, Hardy will gladly take that one tonight.
Man, Michael Bourne playing very deep in center field. Got a late break on it. Ball jammed JJ, and it fell in front of a very speedy center fielder.
Tying run is aboard. Kendall up there to bunt. Pops it up. Ken Maka has Craig Counsell in the on-deck circle. He will pinch hit for Smith. Smith works a scoreless inning, gives up a hit with 2 strikeouts. Kendall gets a bunt down. Fulcino's only play is first. Nicely done. Sacrifice bunt, advancing Hardy to second base. And that'll set it up for Craig Counsell off the bench.
And now you have a couple of left-handed bats that could potentially tie this game up. Craig Counsell and Felipe Lopez, the top of the order. Craig's done a nice job as a pinch hitter, 5 for 14. That's good for a .357 batting average.
Counsell has not started much lately. Had the one start in Chicago with the Hardy Escobar run at shortstop, and McGee playing most every game at third base. David Weathers loosening. Had the day off yesterday. Council a chance to tie it up against Jeff Fulcino. Fulcino was on the mound in the Astros loss to the Reds 2 days ago. He threw a wild pitch that allowed Joey Votto to score the winning run. The Astros hit 5 home runs back on Wednesday. 5 home runs and lost. All 5 were solo homers. Astros have lost 4 straight. The Brewers have won a pair.
And that's somewhat unusual for Houston. They don't hit a lot of home runs.
And in the day they do hit a lot of home runs, they don't win.
Yeah. That's kind of surprising with some of the names that they have in that lineup and the ballpark that they play in at home. You get them down the lines, they go out of there easily. The power alleys in center field very deep.
Ball and 2 strikes to Council. And that one skips out of the glove of Toles. On his way to third goes Hardy. Not sure if Toles was crossed up, but that'll be a pass ball. That is a big play. Now the tying run is in sacrifice fly range at the very least.
That breaking ball, or I'm not sure what that was. I don't think Toles knew what it was. It certainly was not a pitch that he was expecting, and now the Astros are going to bring the infield in.
Opens up some holes for Council with Hardy at third. 2-1 Houston. 2-2 on Council. Close pitch. 3-2. Big fastball from Fulcino.
Well, that's been called off the plate just about all night, and Joe West has been consistent with it.
The crew chief of this 4-man umpiring crew. Full count. Hardy at third. The tying run. Council bounces one. Foul.
Yeah, that's the danger or the risk that you take when you bring that infield in. A ball like that, a high chopper can get over the infield into the outfield and open up a big inning. You can't blame the Astros for bringing the infield in. Try to cut down that tying run.
It's tough to put a fastball by Council on the inner half. Bouncer to second. Right at Matsui. Hardy has to hold his ground, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, good pitch by Fulcino. Took a slider, took a little bit off, and had Council out in front.
Now 2 outs, top of the order now. Felipe Lopez at the plate, presented by Wendy's. 3 walks and a run scored. He's got an on-base percentage just shy of .380 at this point. A base hit ties it. And a bouncer up the middle, and a base hit for Lopez. Hardy scores, all tied at 2 as Lopez continues his hitting ways.
That first pitch, and Felipe Lopez finally getting a pitch to swing at and drive into center field. Fastball out over the plate, hit right in front of the plate. High chopper over the mound and into center field. With JJ at third, scores easily, all tied at 2.
Lopez with his 53rd run batted in, on base for the 4th time. Corey Hart, the batter. He's been on base twice. Normally this would be a running spot for Lopez, but he's been bothered by tight hamstrings all year, even with the Diamondbacks. Those tight hammies slowed him up. Hasn't been running with the kind of regularity we're used to. Not a bad idea from Hart. Third baseman Johnson playing deep at third.
Yeah, he was about as deep at third base as you can be and still be on the skin of the dirt. Really hasn't moved in much, maybe a couple of steps.
Both of the Brewers' runs have come with 2-out hits. Hart had the first one back in the 3rd inning, and he singled in Lopez.
Corey thought it was away. Pretty close.
Good take. 2-2. Well, this will be a pitch of action, you would think. Fulchino does not want to go full on Hart. I want to allow Lopez a head start. Ryan Braun would be next. It's a good spot for Hart to be in right now.
Fulchino's got a lot of mileage out of that slider in this inning. Let's see what he gives him here. Been a good pitch for him.
And now it's 3-2. And Fulchino forced to come after Corey Hart. Lopez will get a head start. Berkman plays behind him now. Astros outfielders back up. There goes Felipe. Hart breaks his bat. Little roller out to Matsui. And the side is retired. But Felipe Lopez, a 2-out hit, and he ties it up. All even at 2 as we go to the 8th.
start here today. Ken Maka really was looking for at least 5 innings out of Narveson. He certainly did that. Give him 5 innings, 1 run on 4 hits. He only walked 1 and struck out 3. One thing he was able to do so well, he located his fastball very well, established that pitch, mixed in a good changeup and a curveball, and a tremendous job for Narveson making the start for Manny Park.
Spot start for Narveson, his 2nd straight, and he gives Ken Maka and the crew 5 strong innings. Neither starter will factor in the decision tonight. It's going to be up to the bullpens, and Maka will give the ball to veteran David Weathers, the 3rd reliever used in this game. Villanueva a scoreless, a 1-run 6th, Smith a scoreless 7th, and now Weathers has the 8th. Carlos Lee leads off. Weathers did not pitch yesterday. Worked an inning and 2/3 on Wednesday night. And got 5 big outs for the Brewers in that 9-5 victory. Little bouncer out to JJ. Nice easy hop. And 1 gone for Weathers in the 8th. Well, they got a good game going in St. Louis tonight. The Cardinals and the Cubs are all tied at 2. John Smoltz started that game for St. Louis after missing a start with a shoulder tightness. He's back and pitching well. Cubs had the early lead. The Cardinals just tied it. St. Louis has a magic number of 8 on the Cubs to win the division. They're trying to get things wrapped up as soon as possible so they can set their rotation for the postseason.
Yeah, Cardinal win tonight would make the magic number 6. Combination of Cardinal wins and Cub losses.
The wild card leader, the Rockies, out to a quick start against the Diamondbacks tonight in Phoenix. 4-1 Colorado. Troy Tulowitzki has hit his 28th home run of the year. Boy, he's having a big year.
Rockies are having a big year.
Some kind of run after they let their manager go, Clint Hurdle. Jim Tracy took over.
Rockies 19 games over 500. Man, who would have thought? It all started around the time that they came in here to Milwaukee, swept the Brewers. It was the 2nd series that Jim Tracy had taken over, and they have been very good since.
Reminding many of the 07 Colorado Rockies. Of course, that team had that dramatic finish. Pretty much won every game in September. Won 11 in a row at one point.
Well, if it's inside, you're not going to get it tonight, whether you're a Brewer or an Astro.
Bouncer from Berkman. 2 outs.
They love the way Berkman gets down that line.
Bad back at all.
Busts it down that line every time. Another ground ball for David Weathers, and look at Lance Berkman on a routine grounder to first. Doesn't hurt anything to run hard.
Two outs, and here's Tejada. Now the Brewers are set up. They have Braun, Fielder, and McGee due up in the 8th. And Weathers trying to get him there, all tied at 2. Good pitch, a slider from Weathers, 1-1. Weathers has spent his entire career throwing that slider and has had no significant injuries to his elbow or shoulder. 19 seasons in the big leagues. He's got 3 ground ball outs. He gets right through Lee, Berkman, and Tejada in the 8th. Braun, Fielder, and McGee coming up. 2. The Astros and the Brewers all tied up at Miller Park in front of a crowd just shy of 40,000 on hand to see this one. And the 2 headliners are coming up for the Brew Crew. Ryan Braun will lead off against Fulcino, then Prince Fielder. Braun is hitless, 0 for 3, 3 groundouts. Fulcino gave up a run to tie it in the 7th. A Felipe Lopez 2-out RBI single. 8 of the last 9 runs the Brewers have driven in have come with 2-out hits, which will make a hitting coach smile.
Well, you're not hitting home runs. You've got to be able to score somehow, so you get those hits when they count most. It's somewhat of a power outage for the Brewers lately. Only hit 1 home run in Chicago.
That was Jody Garrett's grand slam yesterday. Two and 0 to Braun. 3 balls, no strikes. Braun last homered last Friday, a week ago today, against the Diamondbacks, sitting on 29. Maka's barking at Joe West.
Ken Maka and Ryan Braun both thought that was high.
Full count. Big fastball from Fulcino. Fielder waiting. Fulcino's come back from 3-0 to fill the count. And Ryan pops it up. Berkman gives it a look at the rail. He's got it for the out. Braun retired.
Now Ryan still thinks that he had base on balls on the 3-0 pitch. Joe West didn't agree, and Fulcino able to come back and get him.
And Cecil Cooper will bring on his left-hander Wesley Wright. Will set him up when we come back. Stay with us.
I think I was behind Jim Rice by I think a couple RBIs, and ended up needing 1 in my last at bat, and I had to hit it out of the park to do it. And I remember looking up at Bob Uecker up in the press box, and he put up 1 finger that I needed 1 more, and so I swung for the fences on the first pitch.
And you did. Jay Rosen, it was a changeup. You hit it over the roof at Tiger Stadium.
Yeah.
Bill Schroeder earlier today with Cecil Cooper. That was a fun interview to listen to. Cooper has had his pitchers pitch aggressively to Fielder tonight. He has not walked him. Fielder does have a hit, 1 for 3 at the plate. He's matched up against him twice now. He brought in Burdack to face Fielder in the 6th inning, and now Wesley Wright to face Prince here in the 8th. 1 away. Fielder and Cooper still share the franchise RBI record. As you see the numbers on Wesley Wright.
Man, having a rough season this year, but he appeared in an awful lot of games last year for the Astros.
Fielder with 39 home runs.
He's had a tough time against lefties this year. He's given up 12 home runs, or I should say Prince has 12 home runs against lefties.
Fielder does have a hit against Wright, 1 for 7. Strike, a fastball, a good one. 1-2 to count. One and 2 to Prince. Down the line. A fair ball. Extra bases for Fielder. Prince Fielder with another double. 2 hits tonight. And the tying run in scoring position for the, the go-ahead run in scoring position as Fielder comes up with his 2nd double down the left field line in this game.
Yeah, Prince Fielder hitting about 285 against lefties this year. Those 12 home runs, just stays right on it, lets the ball get in on him, and rips it down the left field line, just inside the chalk. And the go-ahead run, a base hit away.
Cecil Cooper to Joe West, indicating a double switch. He brings in the lefty to face Fielder. Wright gives up the double. And now Cooper will make the switch with Casey McGee coming up. All tied at 2. They'll take a timeout. This 3-game series with the Astros. Miguel Tejada, an RBI single in the 6th inning. That put the Astros on top. Corey Hart had a base hit tonight. Scored Felipe Lopez. Both of the hits that produced runs for the Brewers came with 2 outs. Lopez tied the game in the 7th. A 2-out RBI single to center field. Lance Berkman has a home run tonight. All tied at 2. What a pitching change for the Astros. The 6th pitcher of the night, LaTroy Hawkins, is on the work. Casey McGee comes up. Fielder representing the go-ahead run at second base.
Yeah, good numbers for Hawkins. They used him as a closer for a while Jose Valverde was on a disabled list. 1-4 record, but a .234 earned run average. Good numbers for Hawkins, but he has given up 7 home runs out of the bullpen.
Trevor Hoffman is loosening in the bullpen. Keppinger is in to play short on the double switch. McGee down the right field line. That's going to fall, and it gets by Pence. Fielder in to score. A base hit and an RBI for Casey McGee. 3-2, the Brewers take the lead.
He's something else, isn't he? My goodness, first pitch fastball, very dangerous pitch to Casey McGee. And hits it hard down the right field line. So a double by Prince, a base hit by Casey. The 4 and 5 hitters getting it done. Good job by Hunter Pence to get that ball before it gets in the corner.
So Fielder scores. 3-2 Brewers. McGee driving in his 59th run of the year. And Trevor Hoffman will have a chance at his 34th save unless the Brewers keep it going. He's got the bottom of the order coming up, does Hoffman. Chris Johnson, J.R. Tolles, and Jeff Keppinger. Well, what's not to love about Casey McGee?
Nothing.
Not only has he delivered with big numbers, he's delivered in key situations as well. Ryan Braun was commenting on that earlier. It's not just that McGee has amassed some good numbers since he started playing regularly, but big hits late in games. Hits like the one he just had. You don't hear his name mentioned much in the national circle for Rookie of the Year, but you can bet he's up there. He's got a chance. I don't know if enough are paying attention to him, but look at the numbers this month alone. That's with all major league hitters or national league hitters. 19 RBIs.
Yeah, a couple of Cardinals on that list, and Casey McGee with his 19th here in the bottom of the 8th.
59 for the year. Two and one to Cameron. Into left center, way back. Michael Bourne makes the catch. Cameron hit it a mile high. Just got under. And it's out number 2.
Kind of the way it went in Chicago for Mike. Just dropped the head of the bat on that low fastball. Those are the pitches that he has been hitting the hardest lately. That pitch down in the strike zone just gulfs it. Got under it, kept it in the park.
Two gone for J.J. Hardy. He started, then stopped, and stumbled out of the gates.
Not trying to get into scoring position because not expecting a lot of power at the bottom of the order. Troy Hawkins has always been one of those guys that's been easy to steal on with that high leg kick. As we talked about, though, J.R. Tolles throws pretty well.
Hardy last homered in the big leagues 2 months ago, July 18th. Was in the minor leagues for 3 weeks. In August, 4 home runs down in Nashville. Had a hit in his last time up, 1 for 3 tonight.
And certainly J.J. with an opportunity to finish strong. good taste in his mouth when the season ends. But I think regardless, I think JJ is going to try his best to forget about this season offensively as quick as he can.
It's been a down year, but Hardy has as many home runs as Miguel Tejada this season. With 11. And he had 4 in AAA. So it's not the 20-plus home run season from J.J. Hardy from the shortstop position, but it is a 15 home run season. Batting average of .226. Three balls and a strike on Hardy.
This will be a pitch where JJ can be pretty selective and look for a pitch in a certain area and try and hit one out of here. Get a fastball up. He likes the fastball.
Walked him. Good eye at the plate. Hardy draws the walk. Keeps it going here in the 8th. 2-out walk by Hawkins. First and second now with 2 away for Kendall. Trevor Hoffman is ready. Three to 2 Brewers. Casey McGee drives in the go-ahead run. Fielder doubled. McGee singled.
Oh, hard hit single to an outfielder is going to be tough to score a run. Not a lot of speed on the bases.
Best arm in the outfield is in right. Hunter Pence tied for the National League lead in assist with 13 this year. Kendall down 0-2. Ken Maka, Don Money, and Willie Randolph. On the ground to short, Keppinger got a big hop, and the inning ends. But Casey McGee continues his dream season. He gives Hoffman the lead and a chance at save number 34. Hell's bells rings when we come back. show all year here at Miller Park. Trevor Hoffman. And his entry into ball games with Hell's Bells ringing through the stadium. Hoffman a chance for save number 34 tonight. He's blown 3 this year. Coming off a save yesterday in Chicago at Wrigley Field. He picked up his 33rd, his 49th game of the year at 41 years of age. Jason Michaels will pinch hit to lead things off for the Astros. Brewers hanging on to a 3-2 lead. Casey McGee had an RBI single to score Fielder in the bottom of the 8th. Michaels has 4 home runs this year. 2 of them came in the same game against the Brewers at Minute Maid Park in Houston.
That was a 3-up, 3-down save for Trevor in yesterday's ball game. Really didn't need that many pitches to get through it, so he should be fairly strong tonight.
Hoffman sitting on 587 career saves, a major league record. Two balls and a strike on Michaels. Got a fastball by him. It's 2-2. Hoffman currently tied for 6th in the league in saves with 33. Full count.
Well, the 1-run lead, you can't mess around and just throw that get me over fastball in a 3-2 count. Home run ties it up.
Hoffman strikes out Jason Michaels. Michaels thought he had ball 4.
Yeah, so did I. That ball looked low. Check it out. That ball's low. Now Brewers with a break. And Joe West rings it up clearly below the knees.
One out for Trevor. Jeff Blum will pinch hit. Switch hitter, more dangerous from the left side. He jumps on the first one. Hardy settles under it. Trevor has 2 outs. Well, they come to their feet. Astros down to their final out. Brewers going to win it without a home run. Powerball home run leaderboard has him at 161 still. RBIs tonight from Hart, Lopez, and McGee, all on singles. Trevor to face Jeff Keppinger. It'll be his first at bat of the game. He came in on the double switch. Ball and a strike on Keppinger. Trevor retired the side in order yesterday in Chicago. And the Brewers bullpen retiring 10 straight to finish that game yesterday. Trying to make it 3 wins in a row for the Crew. Two and one. Line shot into left. Braun. He's got it. The ball game is over. The Brewers win it. 3-2 the final score as Trevor Hoffman saves his 34th of the year. And career save number 588. It's been an all-star season for Hoffman. And he keeps it going tonight.